For a movie that I made been out for 1 year, there has been some good moments for the first movie. This is Ben Moser here, and in this video we are going to do the top 10 moments from the Ben Moser movie. For this video, we're going to be looking at the top 10 moments from the movie that I made that came out in spring of last year. So, for the most popular YouTube movie I've ever made on this channel, let's go and see the list.
Number 10, gameplays. Now, this is technically still counting as a moment from the movies, but in the first ever Ben Moser movie, we see Dalton here technically playing Fortnite, getting a win. He's technically trying to get a number one victory royale win, but it turns out he's grinding so many times trying to get this win, but it turns out he actually did not get the win. He almost had it, but then he got sniped from high ground, which came out of nowhere. And then there was another scene when Deacon was playing another Fortnite gameplay, but then after that he got sniped too. And these two boys were not happy when they lost. Number 9, smoke bombs. This scene was definitely fun to film. Along the way, we see these two boys technically playing with these smoke bombs. All you do is light them up and you throw them in the air, and then they let out cover of smoke. But there were some scenes where we got too close to it, and we actually pretty much kind of got burned a little bit. We did had some pop-its that we did not add in the movie because they were not as fun. But we do see here that Dalton turns out, well, it didn't light up and he got a rip-off. But for the rest of this part, we were just having fun with them pretty much, and it was definitely a pretty fun moment. And smoke bombs are typically for kids and adults and for 4th of July and pretty much Memorial Day. Number 8, the Markiplier Rage video. Okay, this scene had to be censored out in the movie to keep the movie clean. Now, in this moment, Ben gets a text from one of his friends that this video is hilarious by a famous YouTuber called Markiplier, who plays his one game called I Am Bread. There are some parts in this clip that are dead on hilarious for the censored moments.
God! I don't care. I really don't care. I don't want to play this anymore.
This scene would definitely have you dying out and laughing from raging and his censored moments. Number 7, destroying/burning the stuff. After when Ben and Dalton find a phone and 2 journals in the box, they have decided to do something with it because in one of the journals it said that the phone was gonna blow up. But if you destroy it, the phone will not be able to explode. So they decided to get the phone and smash it onto the ground, which was an actual real phone. But the lesson here is do not try this at home because this is extremely dangerous, even though if you smash your phone, but it turns out the phone was not working at all. And the other thing that they did is that they burned the journals, which is actual. In fact, it took forever to burn the journals because of the wind we've been dealing with. But they had to burn up the evidence so that the Hickler man would never find out who these two boys are. Number 6, football/race. In the beginning of the movie, we see Ben and Dalton playing football. And then there's a part when Dalton kicks the football over the field. It turns out he didn't get it fully over, but then when Ben kicked it, he got it fully over. After that, they quit playing football and then they decided to do a race on the track. Dalton tries to trick Ben saying that there was a hot girl, but there actually was not a girl. The whole reason why this clip was added so that it can be funny. Ben pretty much fell for it, but he didn't almost lose because his speed made him fast enough to beat him. And then after that, they did the handshake twice because they messed up, and then after that, they just went home and called it a day. Number 5, the unknown scream. The scream that was added in this movie was not actually made by me and Dalton. No, It definitely was not at all. The part when Dalton found a note on the top of the playground scent, also known as the Hickler Man's note, he's been saying that on the note that he has a wife, which was never revealed in the movie at all. So after that moment, Ben and Dalton hear a scream out in the woods.
Basically, the plan is we're gonna be playing.
Having no idea what it is, they both got scared and just decided to just run off on their bikes and quickly get out of there. But the thing is, the scream in the movie was actually from a scary TikTok about this guy going mushroom hunting, and he hears this unexpected roar out in the distance. And as to this day, it still kind of scares me. And here is a video of the unknown scream in the TikTok video.
Looks like it's holding some water. I think it's time to go.
Number 4, Hickler Man's Journal. Ben and Dalton go back on the football field once again to pass the football back and forth. And then out in the distance, Dalton sees a blue notebook sitting there on the bleachers. And there it says, Hickler Man's Journal. For the first time in forever, this was when they actually spotted somebody that they did not know. In the journal, it pretty much spots a drawing of the Hickler Man and some messages saying that they know who they are and stuff like that, and they know where they live, and some immature stuff that the Hickler Man does, because that's how the Hickler Man was described. And then later on, Ben was pretty much trying to figure out who this Hickler Man was and try to figure out much more about him. But it turns out in the first movie, they did not find out who he was. Number 3, Childhood Montage. When Ben gets home after hanging out with his friend, he tries to watch TV. But he sees that when he turns on the TV, he finds out that there was an awful reboot of that Scooby-Doo and the Baby Shark show. Ben even said to himself that he misses the days when TV used to be all good, but then when they made those reboots, they were horrible. Same to the video games. Like, some video games then were so much better than the video games we had today, because usually they would change up too much. There was even like a moment when we see all those good old cartoons that were so good back then, like Teen Titans, SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo, and then those games like Crossy Road, Temple Run, Angry Birds. Yep, those days were like so fun to enjoy all those games. And usually, like, playing all those new games today, not all new games are pretty good, but some new games are pretty much alright. Number 2, Ben's Sad Life. Every movie always has that one moment when it's always sad. But this has to be one of the most saddest moments ever in the Ben Moser Movie series. Ben wakes up, but is he dreaming or not? So he's having a conversation with his brain. And his brain tells him that he's been having some problems that he has. Now, Ben is only 16 years old. He's a sophomore in school. So the fact is about this scene is that when Ben was 16, he actually had some problems with his life. Like, he's been left out. He feels like he hasn't been loved enough. So his brain just gives him some, like, things in the movie telling him he doesn't want him to be thinking about that and stuff like that. So he's pretty much has been dealing with these problems when he was 16 years old. But after that, he's been fighting it off, and then everything went all good. So now, he's doing good. It's just that when he was 16, he pretty much had a sad life when he was that much of an age of being 16. Sometimes when you get older, life can pretty much get harder. And that's what was in the moment of this movie storyline right here. Even the quote of this movie has the greatest moments of all time.
When love
love comes to you, it takes years and years and years for it to come to you. But the only love that will not take years to come is that when you have friends that will like love you as friends. I mean like they'll always support you, they'll always make you feel better and have good memories and stuff like that. I mean, having a girlfriend takes a while to take. I mean, it doesn't take a day to get a girlfriend. I mean, I'm just a brain. I'm just a brain. I'm single. I don't have two brains in my head. That's actually a pretty good quote. I'll make sure to keep that in my memory, even though I'm already seeing it right now. I'm just saying, you don't want to be thinking about that stuff. That's just your heart getting hurt. Like, your heart gets hurt way more than your brain does. I mean, trust me, it's true. You can even take a look at it too, and see. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave you hanging. Now, I don't want you to be thinking about that, okay? You just gotta make your heart better. Don't make your heart get even more hurted. Okay? Alright, talk to you later.
Before we see what our number one Ben Moser movie moment is, here are a few honorable mentions. Hilltop Fun Time. They got into the shed and played with little kid toys, and Ben was pretty much too big for one of those toys. Heartbroken. This was another sad moment when Ben was looking at a TikTok of a couple and then he was jealous. Lotion and box. Okay, this is a scene we are not going to explain, but if you're a teenager to an adult, you will definitely understand this scene. Ben's mystery montage. This is the first time in forever we ever see Ben trying to figure out who this mystery guy is. Number 1. The introduction. If this movie would have been played in theaters or at school in front of a lot of kids, literally the crowd would be cheering so loud when Ben Moser is introduced on YouTube onto the big screen for the first time. This is literally one of the most iconic moments in one of the Ben Moser movie series because it is the start of the Ben Moser movie series. And we see Ben Moser on the big screen for the first time. Following along with the song called Open It Up that was really popular on TikTok, but we cannot show it on this video due to copyright issues. What's your favorite moment from the Ben Moser movie? Let me know in the comments down below. And for as you know, there will be more Ben Moser videos here coming soon.